Hello World Doll Day friends, this is Michael Kanadas with the Carmel Doll Shop and the Grovian Doll Museum. Welcome to our special session, Upstairs, Downstairs. Today I have my friend Denise Buese with me.
Hello.
And we are going to study some upstairs dolls.
Yes, very upstairs.
Very upstairs.
Very upstairs.
This is not something that we normally do. This is a collection that has come the way of the Carmel Doll Shop, and it's truly an outstanding collection, and for us to be able to handle it, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we thought that it would be a great teaching tool for a lot of people.
A lot of people.
So you happen to know this lady.
Yes.
Because she was a member of our club.
Yes, I do.
And I think what they're going to see are some very exquisite items with a very, very interesting point of view. But you and this lady share something in common. You both are clippers and savers of special things.
Right.
So you had a little, in your little scrapbook.
Yes, I found something that she had typed up, and I saved it, and I'm not sure where. I know it was from her, but I'm not sure where it came from, because it was in a notebook that I have, and I think a lot of people do this. They cut out from catalogs or magazines pictures of dolls they like. It's like a little dream book kind of thing. So I did find it. Do you want me to read it?
I really do.
Okay, let me get it first.
Because it really says everything about this
about her.
Lovely
this
lady.
Is a poem by Sarah Teasdale. So let me...
Very upstairs.
Into my heart's treasury I slipped a coin that time cannot take, nor a thief purloin. Oh, better than the minting of a gold-crowned king is the safe-kept memory of a lovely thing.
So we are going to show you some very lovely things. So Denise, I'm behind the camera now.
Yes.
So where would you like to start?
Well, I think we should start at the beginning as far as this collection. And we have no less than 6 Hurrays on the table.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It is. So maybe starting with the oldest one that's here.
Right, my pick would be this particular doll because it is the same mold as the china, just done in bisque, which I think is pretty special.
She's beautiful. She's very soft looking.
And it is...
and very different.
And they can be confused with other makers, but once you've kind of handled them, they're very unique. And
is she also marked on her collar?
Do you know,
we haven't taken
we
the
haven't
dress
gotten
off,
that far yet.
Yeah, okay.
So we will do that.
Lovely dress as well.
And the dress is really pretty, isn't it? The beautiful blonde lace and tiny rickrack and buttons. And I want to get a side view for the public. I have seen these, very few of these early ones, but I have seen them with brown eyes as well as blue.
Wow.
Which, but these are as rare as hen's teeth.
And when you start to look at them and from the side and from different angles, she does look like a Hurray. I don't think you would mistake her.
Well, but on a quick glance, it's a little bit different. So I would, to me, in my opinion, you can, I know you'll tell me yours. This is what I would call, if we were talking about Barbie dolls, this would be the number 2.
Oh, the number 2.
Number 2. Shall we go look at the number 3?
Okay, let's go right down here. Look at number 3.
So I think here we have a mold that has been improved. They've sharpened it up. They've maybe bulked her out a little bit in the cheeks, because a child would be you'd want to be chubby to pleasingly plump, and all those butterball and all the things that a child would want to be at the time. And here you can see the really, I think, the secret to the Hurray is the upper eyelid. You know, our people out there that are making them, if your mold is not a good mold and it doesn't have the upper eyelid, you'll never achieve the look.
But I think she's starting to look more the way we think a Hire looks.
Yes.
But isn't this one wonderful to see how they started out?
And both of them are pale.
Very, very pale.
They're very pale. And I think this one is quite the girl on, I've noticed her on Pinterest.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So where do you want to go next with the Hire sisters?
I think I'd like to go right up here to this lowly lady.
So now we're making, again, more improvements, and we are into the swivel neck because we've got to have articulation, because the articulation is what you can patent. You can't really patent a human head, but you can patent the movement. And but you still have all the beautiful details of the painted
painting,
eyes.
yes. Yes.
And then the here you can really see the eyelid. And they're kind of slightly Sophia Loren, if you notice. They're very round, and then they kind of
taper.
I think they called that in the 50s the flick, with that eyeliner that kind of goes up a little bit.
Right. I guess we did. I don't know if we mentioned that the first two have stationary necks. I don't know if
we didn't.
Oh, okay.
We didn't. So we've got a
that's yes.
Stationary neck, stationary neck, and now we're into swivel. And I will be honest, we haven't really gone into the details of what's underneath all the clothes because this just happened. But it appears to be some kind of wooden body. And shall we look at these other two?
Let's look at, I'm not sure, okay, I would say maybe this one next. And look at her heavy eyelids.
But very different look. A little pinker and a little more finely painted mouth, but beautiful eyes.
Beautiful.
And then I was noticing in Francois Thymer's book that we've gone from the curly lamb wigs to now we're getting into longer wigs. So this is the Longchambon period.
Or get a little hairstyle and
to appeal.
Beautiful.
And then we have another one.
Another one more.
And I don't think, what do you think, Denise? I don't think there's, with all of these swivel necks, there's not much
Not a big difference. No.
It's just who painted them.
And different people did.
And I think that these clothes on this particular doll are very Mademoiselle Barreau. And, you know, kind of her
style.
Her style.
Beautiful.
And we're going to drag this video on, Denise, because I think people are going to want to look at these dolls.
I think so too.
Sorry. You can always
I think so too.
Change the channel. Okay.
Or scrub forward.
So we and then we have this little beauty.
Yes. Then we're going to glass-eyed, because that's what people were doing, and that's what the customers wanted.
And they had to move on. I will tell you that in our career of handling Hires, we've actually, this is the one models that we've had the least of. The most of that we've had have been the Chinas, because that extra glaze gives them a protection, you know, make them a little more durable. And I think that they were actually made for a longer period of time. And then these we find to be the least plentiful, which I can't tell you why, but
it's really looking like a bébé.
Yes, it is.
Of the time.
And this one has such an outstanding dress. It's a piqué, ribbed piqué in white, and I'm sure it was bright white when it was new, and then a brown, and then the trim is just
gorgeous,
out of this world. And we have all of the body. This is a Hire body, and it has all of the improvements, the articulation at the waist, pewter hands, you know, very nice quality body. Well, I think we've done,
Very nice.
we've looked at all of the Hirés. So where do you want to go next? What is you want to start from one?
Well, excuse me, we could just go on this side.
Okay.
Do you want to start?
Why don't we start
Okay,
here?
we'll start right here. Look at this little fashion lady. Looks very French. But most likely a Simon and
Oh,
Holbein.
yes, definitely, without a doubt, a Simon and Holbein. And could you feel her? Because I can't remember if she's got a cloth body or a wooden body.
It's cloth.
Cloth. And because they have both.
Right.
I have noticed in the past travels to France back in the day that we found these regularly. So I think that there must have been a wholesaler to get these dolls into France and sell them in shops as French dolls.
It's French dolls.
As a matter of fact, the Bethnal Green Museum in London has a pair of them in boxes
Oh my.
that are being marketed as French dolls.
And they make a wonderful child companion to a larger one.
They do, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're usually smallish. And then we have this very pleasing doll and Jameau, but I believe that the label on the doll's body is Maison Guillard.
Oh wow, sold by
Yes.
that lovely firm.
And outstanding clothes. But I think what's interesting is she's not a lady. She is a teenager because she has a short dress. You don't see it under
Yeah.
how we have it,
Right.
but it's just a little.
Just a little shorter from the ground, yeah. Like hers.
And then this one, we don't have the face identified. I'd like, I know that people are going to want to know who made it,
Yeah.
but we have one in our collection, but I can't tell you who made it. And I don't think anybody can, at this point, they're not marked. We're just playing the guessing game to say who made it.
And look at the clothing.
Well, I
Fabric
think that this is what is interesting is this doll was puzzling to me, and I thought she looked familiar, and we had handled this at one point, and I think she got a new dress, but I approve
Yeah.
because it is really gorgeous paisley,
It's wonderful.
and look how it's pieced together. I mean, you're a costumer. Look at that scene. I mean, that is quality
Yep.
work.
Yep. No, it is.
Shall we go upstairs? Because we are
Look at her
upstairs,
face.
downstairs.
Look at her face.
So now we have a Doliac, which is a wonderful doll. Not so big. I think this is like 16 inches or so.
Maybe so, huh?
And big, beautiful arms. And again, a lovely dress
She's
with
beautiful.
a little floral pattern. And then our teen. And I do believe that this one is a Barrois, this girl.
Okay.
But again, not a lady, a teenager, because we can see the little short dress. But look at that one-piece dress. It's kind of
Yes.
very, very chic.
And I love how you can pair them. You can
Yes.
pair them up together.
Yes. Mother and daughter or sisters.
A nice little grouping.
Then we have a
And then, yeah, another little teen.
little teen, but a
Child.
very little bug face. I think that, if you went into a rose garden, you could see her buzzing around. And those big eyes.
I know. And are they almost cobalt? They're very, very
Yeah, they're
deep
cobalt, I think.
Yeah. Lovely
And I would
arms.
say that's original clothes. There's some wear to it, but
Does she cut Barrois as well, or
I
is
would
it
say
hard
so.
to? Okay.
I would. That's one we have to kind of fiddle around with, and we could find out if there's any markings. Shall we come to this pair?
Little couple.
And
look at him.
he has lost his bow tie, but I will get that back
well,
on him.
yeah.
But it's a Steiner, so it's has its
Look
full
at
set of
that.
teeth and
A wooden body.
wooden body. Actually, he makes a nice young man. I mean, he's not an old guy. He's a young man. And then I think this girl here is kind of well known. I think if you follow videos and things,
She's familiar.
magazines, you'll have seen her. But to see her in life is pretty special. And I am going to attribute her costume to Mademoiselle Barreau.
Oh, okay.
It's that lattice work that she loved. A lot of the sewing is familiar. The scale of the lace is familiar. And it's just a really beautiful doll.
Gorgeous.
And we're in the with this one, she is a lady, and we're in the mid-60s. And this is a big dress when it's all fluffed out. Then this is something I think is a real beauty.
Look at that face.
So we're at Pierre Germaud, and I would put money on it that the color of the dress was the color of the background. And it is just faded from head to toe to a really mellow pink beauty.
Wow.
And what's nice about her, Denise, is she's not tiny, but she's not giant. These usually come, 36 inches. It's a nice scale.
It's a nice size.
And we're filming this live. Those are not our dogs barking in the background.
And I think she is dressed as a teen as well, 70s somewhere.
So maybe we're at a point where the bebe hasn't really taken hold yet, and they're experimenting a bit. But you can really see the incredible workmanship of the clothes.
So beautiful. Okay.
Should we look? Speaking of bebes,
hiding
should we move?
behind the green.
I'll move this beautiful.
Maybe I can
attagere,
move
or
bit.
not attagere. It's a.
I forget to.
So we have got two bebes, and we've got one is a brevete brew, and brevete means patented. And it's not the head that's patented, it's actually the body. And then we have a little Schmidt bebe. But I think it's interesting, these are small dolls, so they literally could be little sisters to any of the bigger dolls here.
Or the proportions,
Yeah, they've got pretty good proportions. Although I think that sometimes their heads are a little big. But if they went with her, they would be fine, wouldn't they?
Yeah. But look how cute they are.
Yeah, and I would love to give you the size numbers, but I don't have that at the top. But what are we talking about? Maybe 11 inches tall? Yeah, so they're little. They're little ones. And there are not a lot of bebes in this collection, so it wasn't the first priority. But they do add a lot to a collection, I think.
Well, when you have 6 Hurays.
Well, 6,
you
8.
got 8.
So,
9. Yeah.
So.
Now this lady, I
know, and you've been.
We just don't know who she is.
I think that I will name her. I will name her a mystery portrait doll because she does not fit into any classification. So, with 200 doll shops and doll businesses in Paris by the mid-1860s, hey, who knows?
Who knows?
This could have been created, and although we find the face absolutely fascinating, maybe the public didn't like it. I mean, who knows?
I think she's great.
I do too.
She has a little, I think, cup and saucer called neck jointing.
And that could have been problematic at the time. That could have been easily snapped off. Could have been hard put together. I mean, there has to be a reason that we haven't
have
seen
that
this
many,
face.
yeah, right.
I have seen this face before, just this doll. So she, you know, she's
was this
come
doll,
back and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, love that. Love how different she is.
And then we have
another
more of our
young
Simon and
Simon
Halbigs.
Halbig. And she might, I don't know if she a tad taller than the
Just
other
a little
one.
bit. And I think that this one is on a wooden body. So that's really a nice feature.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, sometimes it's not easy
You
to.
know, I was tired this morning too.
It's not easy to be a lady. So when you were tired this morning getting ready for this,
Did I look like this?
Were you wearing
No,
a
I wasn't looking
peignoir
like
with ribbons and all
And we
that?
can show this Jesslyn body. Which
I
is
think that they are
stockinette.
completely underrated. I really do, because they feel so nice. And if you're a costumer, they're a dream to dress, because you've got these beautiful legs and you have a soft body, but it's
hands.
you can, you know, cinch in her waist, and the cute little hands. And I just think they're pretty.
So there's a metal armature or something
Yes.
underneath.
It's like a skeleton.
That will bend her
Yes.
at the knees and such.
The only time it can be a problem is if it has the metal, and then it has a layer of batting, if you will. It's not quite batting. And if that breaks down, that can get caught in the joints. But
sure,
it can be fixed. And then the outer is a stockinette, like a stocking material.
Right.
So they're really nice dolls.
Long, thin
Oh, and the
feet.
feet are beautiful. I mean, they really are.
Little pink nails.
And then we have,
Oh,
again,
look
another
little sister.
a little Germanic, and I would think that this is an Altbeck and Gottschalk child doll, but it's, you know, a very pretty little piece, and it looks to me like it's got the original clothes and the original composition, jointed body. A little bit different too.
Yes. Like her.
Well, look who
we're
we have
getting
here. This is kind of a, in this collection, this is a little bit of a shock, because we've got this pop of red. Because most what we've looked at has been pastels and pinks. And then I think the one that to really look at is this, anybody who's really interested in French fashion dolls would know this girl.
Right.
She's on the cover of a book.
Another Simon and Halbig.
Another, yeah. And then most likely we have this one, which is, I would say, is a very, very early Gautier with a wonderful curly lamb jacket and hat and a plaid dress. Could you pull her out so we could
Sure.
see?
Pull her out.
Up, yeah. And just a wonderful costume. So I want everybody to see that. Her beautiful face. But this little lamb is just tiniest little curls.
And then the little
Muff.
muff right here.
And the hat's not too shabby.
Oh, there's
either.
that. Yep. That's wonderful.
And then we have our roamer with her little glasses on and a wonderful ensemble.
That's beautiful plaid.
And then we've kind of gone to a...
Well, this one, I think,
Yes.
is very special, I
Yes,
think.
I agree. And a very unique face and a lovely costume. Taffeta with chantilly lace and all the jet bead decoration. And she's definitely a lady. And then we have next to her...
But we didn't talk about her body.
Oh, yes. No, I'm sorry, I didn't. Well, right now I'm right there too.
Oh, okay.
So we have a Pierre Victor Clement.
Body. So this is blown leather body.
Yes. And I think we should explain
Hollow.
that. It's hollow. So they had
Very
some
light.
kind of a system where they pushed it into the the mold, but collectors started calling it
But
blown.
then they sewed it too, because
Yes.
up the back, especially up her legs, you can see little stitches
Yeah.
underneath the paint.
Yeah. I mean, I think what they really did is they probably wetted leather and then put it into molds. And we should try that one afternoon here.
Let's. Let's do that.
And then shall we pull her
Sure,
up
we
too?
can pull her up
Because
as
she's
well.
not going to get seen the way she's.
Oh, she's on a saddle stand. No, no, no. Here it is. Okay, I see it.
And I think she's another really cute Gautier bébé. So it's very, very,
Very cute, very young looking.
yes. Just a really cutie. And with her Mary Stuart bonnet. So that kind of helps date it if we start looking up when those were popular. And did you notice the skirt is basically denim?
Oh, yes, it is.
That'll last a couple hundred years. It's so durable. But I love, who would ever think of doing denim with a velvet trim?
No.
And then that little pop of red at the hem.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it
That-
is. It's just.
Just a little edging. So here's something that's very interesting is we have two marked brews that are very, very early. And this little one
Look at her.
is the earliest one.
Oh.
So we have a brew shoulder head and really practically not quite the same era as a Huret, a little bit later. But you have those enfantine clothes.
Right, look at that.
Yeah. And it really is beautifully done. So at this early age, I couldn't say whether those are brew or not, or do you have an opinion?
It looks very, it looks like the round face almost, what
Yeah.
we call.
Yes, it does. And again, very pale.
But then you can, you look at some of these and then you say, wait a minute, there could be Barrois, could be, like Blampois, one of those early.
Well, you had a lot of people working together, so that's where we get some of the. But it's just a wonderful example.
She looks Brew family.
And then in the back,
We
if you
can
want to
bring
pull her
up,
out.
too, sure. Another lovely dress.
Isn't that a wonderful
Here,
dress?
maybe I can just put her right here.
And what is interesting is this is very much a lady's dress. So it's not a child dress, it's a lady's dress. And another super early piece.
And is she Swivel?
She's a swivel.
She is.
Yeah, yeah. And we've got the wooden arms.
Uh-huh.
But I think, could you tell me, Denise, if it's a wooden body or is it just
No, I think it's
leather?
leather.
Okay.
It's leather.
Which was a combination that they offered.
Yes.
And again, a beautiful bonnet.
Like this one has bisque arms. And they're
All right, so this is the last kid of the group.
look at
And
her face is just stunning.
another Doliac.
Yes. Look at those eyes.
Now, I don't think she's meant to be a child. I think she's a lady just in that little time frame where skirts were a little bit shorter. But she could be a child.
She could be
She could
a
be
teenager.
a teenager, okay.
Because see, she's in my world. See, she's getting tall.
That's right, okay, okay.
But she's not quite there yet.
Yeah. But clearly she's going on a trip because she's got her, this is for carriage rides. You put a lump of coal in it. and
Oh, I
then
didn't really know what that was.
warm your feet.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, very,
Be made out of metal.
very nice.
So I'm going to give you a little last pan before we say our goodbyes to upstairs, and then we have to go downstairs to do our job. But I want you to see this wonderful collection. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little mini tour of the Beverly Thomson collection. She was a wonderful lady and a very valuable friend to us. And I think that a little bit of her magic is sprinkled on all of these, isn't it?
Yes.
You can almost feel it.
Her taste level was exquisite.
Yes. And she was very much an upstairs lady.
Yes, she was, wasn't she? Yes.
All right, doll friends, we will be back. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.